Mewing, the most powerful and popular method in the world, with more than 2 billion views on how to change the jawline. But there is also a scientific way to completely change the structure of your face.
How to get a slimmer face, and it's actually backed by research.
So to the question that all children, teenagers, parents and grandparents ask, how do you change the shape of the face? Be sure that in a minute from now, you'll know the answer. Let's begin. So what's up guys, welcome to your Fitness Pal, and today's a story about how millions and hundreds of millions of people fell into the trap of those two. But do you see that? If you lift your tongue and place it on the roof of your mouth, the posterior third,
particularly the posterior third,
you'll do an exercise called mewing. But what is mewing? So if you open TikTok and search for #mewing, you'll get videos with a total of over 2 billion views.
If you want to improve your jawline, you might want to try mewing.
Google is flooded like crazy with searches on mewing, and a small click on the YouTube search bar and you'll see hundreds if not thousands of people raising their tongue, lowering their tongue, tucking their chin and opening their mouth like they're in a dental cleaning session.
Looks disgusting, I know.
Yeah, a little bit. Shut your mouth. But why does everyone do it? Is it harmful? And what does science has to say? This is the answer. Watch till the end. So this is Dr. John Mew. He is about 95 years old. And this is Dr. Mike Mew, his son. Their last name is Mew. And if you add ing to their last name, you get Mewing. Because they are the official founders of Mewing.
My biggest critic is my father. My father's biggest critic is me.
The theory of mewing is that it's possible to change the structure and aesthetics of the face, or the teeth, or the jaw, by the facial muscles and the tongue. Only, this is where it gets complicated. Those who are not familiar with the evidence on the topic will bite their tongue after watching this video. No pun intended. Why? Because there is no evidence that the position of the tongue changes the jawline, like millions of people do. John is indeed a doctor, and his son is also a doctor. But John was stripped of his dental license, and Mike was expelled from the British Orthodontic Society.
I have been expelled from the British Orthodontic Society.
How come? They incite people who need a real surgery to an unevidence-based trend on TikTok called mewing. And it's not new. Dr. Mew, the father, has a theory on why your teeth are crooked.
How can the fact that we live in houses make their teeth crooked?
The houses contain dust, and dust contains allergen, which cause allergies. And if you have an allergy, your nose is very likely to be runny, so you develop the habit of keeping the mouth open. It can totally ruin your face.
Yeah, so that's a logical fallacy called slippery slope. It's like saying if you'll drink water, you will not be thirsty. And if you'll not be thirsty, you will not drink water. But if you don't drink any water, you'll get dry. And if you'll get dry, you could potentially die. So, don't drink water. No. It doesn't work like that. During John's career, he tried to publish lots of studies, but some of them simply got rejected. There was one study that even took him 23 years until it got published. And as the American Association of Orthodontics said, before considering a DIY treatment such as mewing, patients should consider the potential irreversible and expensive damage if not done correctly. But that's not all. Muscles are muscle. If I train my bicep and it will grow over time, why can't I train my facial muscles and they will grow over time? So here comes another very famous doctor from TikTok, Dr. Eats. Dr. Eats is a TikToker and a researcher in the field of nutrition. He has 1.8 million followers on TikTok, and a year ago he uploaded that video.
How to get a slimmer face, and it's actually backed by research.
So, how to get a slimmer face? Let's see.
Facial exercises, reducing the appearance of facial fullness and aging.
So, believe it or not, compared to mewing, there is actual evidence on facial exercises and facial rejuvenation. If you open YouTube on the right tab, you'll see quite a few men and women who do mouth pilates, forehead yoga, kitchen spoon curls, and this exercise, which I don't really know how to explain. Now, the doctor cites this review with 9 studies.
This systematic review of 9 studies,
but says that it's not high enough quality, and it's true.
The majority of studies before 2014 were single group before and after study design.
And what's ironic? That he then gives 2 higher quality studies.
Newer studies have provided stronger evidence,
which fall into the same category of what he complained about earlier. Or in other words, he presented low quality studies from 2014 and then presented low quality studies from 2018. So after we said goodbye to all of the doctors and it's just you and I now, are there any exercises for facial rejuvenation? So yes, A no. No, because a systematic review from 2021 still concludes that so far in all of the evidence we have to date, the methodologies are not so good, to say the least.
And yes, because it can work. But, and there is a big but, all of the before and after jaw photos that you see are a bit sus. First of all, there are these pictures, which are simply people who have lost body fat. Looks like a difference in the jaw, but it's more noticeable only because there is less fat. Next, there are those types of pictures. How the beard is arranged can affect the appearance of the jaw, just like hair can affect the appearance of the head.
Next in line are pictures of children in the before and 4 years later in the after photos. It's very logical to have a change in the structure of your face when you're no longer a 9-year-old. And to be honest, in every picture you'll see online, there will be a difference. After all, if it's on the internet, it's a sign that someone wanted to be proud of the results. Therefore, he published the picture. If there was no change from the first place, you would never see it online. And that is called survivorship bias.
Yes, there are studies that show that facial exercises can increase facial musculature, but their quality is very low.
For example, if we look at the numbers here, the muscles indeed grew, but the change wasn't clinically meaningful. There was no control group, there was a small number of participants. The majority of the participants were middle-aged women, which is very difficult to generalize to the rest of the population. And even in the study with the highest quality measurement, we can't be sure that the participants did the exercises at home. So, in the bottom line, is it worth doing facial exercises with questionable devices, doctors which their license was revoked, or a zucchini? The decision is in your own mouths. Today, the studies that support facial rejuvenation don't really support facial rejuvenation. That's why we're waiting for more quality evidence. If you want to do it, we'll not be mad, just evaluate the pros versus the cons.
We invested a lot of time working on this video, so we would appreciate it if you gave a like, write down here in the comments what you would like to see next, and we will see you in the next video that will even be crazier than this one. Bye bye.